Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. I thought we'd do a little walk and talk. I'm coming to you, I guess it's dusk. It's a Tuesday night, I'm sorry, it's a Wednesday night, and I'm on the, I'll post this video, I'll get it uploading tonight, and it'll probably post sometime tomorrow. But we're here in southwest Missouri in the Ozark Mountains, and I'm standing on the banks of the of Table Rock Lake, beautiful area. Here in southwest Missouri, there's some people out there you might see fishing, and I'm in a campground, just a beautiful area. I talked to you in the last video, which was basically about free speech. In some ways, this video is a continuation of that video, I guess you could say, because there's something else I'm really troubled about that I believe you, if you are a lover of freedom and liberty as I am, particularly if you are in the United States, as I am, and many of you are, I'm asking the question, is the United States government at war with Christians? Now, I want to preface, and I don't want to belabor this point, but I know that many of my viewers, or all of my viewers, come from a myriad of religious beliefs and backgrounds. And that's fine. No matter what you believe, that's fine. No matter if you believe nothing, if you're an atheist, that's fine as well. But I am appealing to fair-minded people to consider what I'm saying in this particular video, because I believe the case can easily be made that it has essentially become the policy of the federal government of the United States to basically make an unofficial war against Christians. Now, why do I say that? I say that because of what our government is doing to Christians, not only in America, of course, where we are being marginalized every day. If you're a Christian in America, you're fair game. There's seemingly no protection left for you in the United States. I know personally of people who are of the Christian religion who have fled the United States. Things have gotten so bad for them. But I want to cite for you two examples that I believe will demonstrate and give validity to what I am maintaining in this particular video. And I want to take you overseas to the nation of Ukraine, where we are fighting a proxy war against Russia. Make no mistake that the United States and Russia are at war, with Ukraine being in the middle of things. That's where the proxy war is being fought. This is no mistake. Biden/Obama, it's the same two-headed snake, has wanted this. They have wanted to be at war with Russia for no reason whatsoever. I have talked about that constantly on this channel. We have no reason to be at odds with Russia whatsoever. We have had a perfect opportunity to be on friendly terms with the nation of Russia. There's no reason for us not to be. And we create these monsters and we create these flawed theories that Putin is going to try and take over Europe and all this nonsense. And if you understand what's happened in Ukraine, as I've tried to detail on this channel, you'll understand why Putin has done what he has done. But I want to go into greater detail as to what has happened in Ukraine, which is very bad, and it's been done with the support of the United States, with the State Department and the Department of the Pentagon, for that matter. Ukraine, much like Russia, has largely been a Christian nation, specifically an Orthodox Christian nation. They had a valid, democratically elected government, as you know, as you should know, prior to the year 2014, when, with the help of the U.S. State Department, their legitimate government was toppled and their president was replaced with this figurehead, this literal actor comedian who was financed by Zolomovsky, and he was put into office to serve as a puppet of the U.S. State Department and people such as Victoria Nuland. This is what Gonzalo Lira was telling us all about, and of course you know ultimately what happened to him for speaking the truth. He revealed the lies of the United States government, and he has paid the price, the ultimate price for same. But within Ukraine, there was a legitimate Orthodox church that had a legitimate bishop overseeing the church. His name is Metropolitan Onufer, or Bishop Onufer. And they were in communion with, the Russian Orthodox Church and other Orthodox churches in the world. They were valid, they were legitimate. But as soon as this puppet came into power, Zelensky, his government began, with the support of the United States, began to make war against the Christians in Ukraine. Now, what has happened is insidious, it is wrong, it is tragic, but under the leadership of Zelensky, this puppet of America, clerics have been arrested and imprisoned and killed in Ukraine. Churches have been razed and destroyed in Ukraine. Christians have been martyred in Ukraine, and this has all been done with the assistance of the United States government. I want you to think about that for a minute. As I speak, and this is not the first time this has happened, as I speak, the government of Kiev, of Ukraine, is in the process of raising yet another Christian monastery in Ukraine. They're going to level it. This is a monastery that has been around for hundreds of years. They're just going to destroy it. And they've been doing this regularly. They have been destroying church buildings. They have been killing Christians. They have been persecuting Christians. They have pastors who have been imprisoned, and some of them have been killed. If you're listening to me from America, you don't hear this in the mainstream media. You don't know anything. If that's where you get your news, you don't know anything about what I'm talking about, but it's true. These are Christians. Now, if you are a Christian listening to me somewhere in the West, or really anywhere in the world, and you haven't heard about this, you need to be made aware this is what is happening to your fellow Christians in Ukraine, and it is being financed by people like Joe Biden. Why are we sending another $95 billion overseas to places like Ukraine and Israel? Why is that? What's that money being used for? Well, I can tell you that part of the money is being used to destroy Christians and their buildings and their monasteries. They have raised up now, with the help of the State Department in Ukraine, a false bishop who wears Orthodox vestments, and they have set him up as somehow being legitimate. He's not. He's a tool of the Zelensky government. And the real legitimate bishop in Ukraine is sitting in a jail in Ukraine, Bishop Onufer. If you're a Christian, I ask your prayers for him. Now, that's one example that I'm giving you right now. Another example, of course, is in Gaza. And I cannot do enough to drive home the truth about Israel. This is not the land of, this is not the God's chosen people on this earth. These are a bunch of God-hating Zionists. They do not care about Christians. And this is proof of this fact, because in Gaza, I have actually lost count of how many Christians have been killed, have been martyred by these people in Israel. These are Jesus people, if you will, in terms of lineage. This is Palestine. This is where Jesus walked and talked on the earth. And with the help again of the United States government and people like Mike Johnson, who claims to be a Christian, at last count, as I make this video here in early May of 2024, over 15,000 children have been killed in Gaza. Children. I don't know what the total body count is now, but it's in the tens of thousands at least. It is an absolute genocide. It is an absolute annihilation of an entire culture being financed by the American government and ultimately the American taxpayer. My taxpayers are supporting this. My taxpayer dollars are supporting this. What's happening in Gaza and what is happening in Ukraine. I believe the case can easily be made that the United States government is at war with Christians. I don't even have to get into all the things that are happening domestically in the United States to Christians. Now, I want to talk about these politicians in Washington for just a moment, and I want to give you some staggering numbers, and I want to show you who these people really serve. They don't serve the American people, I can tell you that for sure. If you want to find out who a politician really serves, you need to find out who they are taking money from. If you want to find out who's pulling the strings for a given politician, you need to find out who is financing them, who is bankrolling them, who is giving them all the dough to do what they do, who is telling them, we're going to give you all this money, and now you're going to vote the way we tell you to vote. That's exactly what's happening. There is an entity, a political entity in the world called APAC. And I've talked about them on the channel before. The APAC serves basically as, they basically serve the state of Israel, and they fund and finance American politicians to do the bidding of the state of Israel. Now, I want to make clear, the best position for America to be in with regard to foreign conflicts is to be somewhat like an umpire, which is to say we shouldn't be picking sides. If Russia has a conflict with Ukraine, I say let them fight it out. We don't need to get involved. There's no point for us to get involved with Russia and Ukraine. And the same with what's happening in anywhere else in the world. Just let these people fight their own battles. We have our own problems to deal with domestically, such as our border. That's one example. And if I were an American politician, as I said this in the last video, I would follow the model of Congressman Ron Paul, and I would not entertain a lobbyist ever in my office. My pockets would be sewn shut. I would not take money from lobbyists. Ron Paul never took money from lobbyists. But the vast majority of politicians in Washington, D.C. are heavily funded by these special interests, with special attention being given right now to APAC. APAC does the bidding of Israel, and APAC funds the majority of politicians in Washington, basically buying them so that they will do the bidding of the state of Israel. And I want to give you some figures that are staggering. I am talking about huge sums of money. There is an outfit online called APAC Tracker. I found them on Twitter, and I did a little legwork, and I found out just how much money so many American politicians are taking from APAC, and I want to give you a list of a few of them. I'm not going to take the time to read all of them because we'd be here all night. It's that bad. How much are noted American politicians taking from APAC? Let me give you a few examples. Bear with me, please. Congressman Steve Scalise has taken $718,119 from APAC to do the bidding of Israel. Okay? How about Mike Lawler of New York, $185,540? Now, let me insert very quickly. This runs across party lines. This is Democrats and Republicans. They're all taking money, for the most part, from APAC. There's a couple of notable exceptions that I'm going to give you here in just a minute. How about Tom Keene of New Jersey, $315,204. Tom Tillis, good conservative Republican from North Carolina, $270,656. How about the turtle? Mitch McConnell. APAC has given Mitch McConnell $1.9 million plus are in Mitch McConnell's pockets. Pencil neck, Adam Schiff, over $1.23 million financed from APAC. James Comer has taken $30,000 from APAC. Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren of Maine, they've given her $298,493. Little Lindsey McCain Graham of South Carolina, $1,580,000. Steny Hoyer, $1,736,244. Marco Rubio, $1,013,000. Johnny Ernst of Iowa, $505,000. John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, he gets $362,000 from APAC. Mike Johnson, good conservative Christian from Louisiana. Mike Johnson has been given over $636,000 from APAC. Charles Schumer, over $1.7 million from APAC. Minnesota's Amy Klobuchar has been given over $707,000 from APAC. Ted Cruz over $1.5 million, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. The vast majority of Washington politicians who are sent there to do the business of the American people are bought and paid for by the state of Israel. How many of you in America think that's right? I must tell you some good news. I can think of two people off the top of my head who have not taken one red cent from APAC. Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky and Congressman Thomas Massie of Kentucky have taken nothing from APAC, because their priority is to serve the interest of their constituents. So my hat is off to these two gentlemen. And there are more who haven't taken money from APAC. I believe it should be illegal. I don't think any American politician should be taking any money from any foreign lobby. Do you agree with me? And I don't care who the nation is. I don't care if it's Israel. I don't care if it's Russia. I don't care if it's Cuba. I don't care if it's Argentina. I don't care if it's the Cayman Islands. I don't care if it's the Bahamas. I don't care if it's Tahiti. I don't care. I don't believe any of them should be taking one red cent from any foreign lobby or any lobby. This is maddening to me. These people are doing the bidding of Israel, and Israel, God's chosen land, so many believe, is at war with Christians. They are eliminating them in Gaza. This is tragic. This is so sad. And this is what's happening in the United States. Again, you may not be a Christian. You may be an atheist. But if you are a fair-minded person, I believe you would have to draw the conclusion that what the American government is doing and what the American government is financing, which is the extermination and the persecution of Christians around the world, is wrong. It is morally wrong. And there are still people running around in the United States saying this is a Christian nation. Folks, wake up. Wake up. That ship sailed long ago. This is a post-Christian nation, if it ever was. It is totally secularized. It is totally marginalized Christianity in the United States. There's a few of us holding the flag up high, but we are in the minority, folks. It's as simple as that. How about these well-funded politicians? Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. It's a uniparty, and the vast majority of them are financed by these special interests from outside the country. Isn't it a shame? This is life in America. Give me your thoughts down below. I would love to hear your comments. I love reading your comments. I love responding to as many of them as I can. Make sure that you like this video if you would. Make sure you're still subscribed. If you have not yet subscribed, make sure you do subscribe. Make sure you haven't been unsubscribed. Thank you again, everybody, for the Buy Me a Coffees and the support. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go and try and enjoy this beautiful area because my vacation's coming to a close and I got to get back to the grind. This is Trailer Trash Tim. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you soon.